Hold on. Welcome in, everyone. It's time for your Rat Dad's yearly Eurofurence review. Eurofurence 30 in 2026 this year. And that's what it was this year. Hello, welcome. I have some notes. I have some topics that I want to talk about. I have a whole, this is a whole story hour, right? So let's get to it. Hello, welcome in. It is I, Neth, your local Rat Dad, as you might be aware of. I'm an artist and streamer. I've been a furry for like 16 years, but only been in the fandom for about like 12. And I'm talking about EF. What the hell is EF? Eurofurence. It's a convention, furry convention hosted in Germany. It's the largest furry convention. Dude, it's crazy. This last year, I think it still might have been the biggest furry convention. It had like 6,000 and change attendees, right? And this year, there was 10,000, like almost 10,000 or like over 10,000. I'm not sure. I didn't go to the closing ceremony. The first EF was like in 1995. They said so in the opening ceremony. They did their 30th birthday, the 30th run of that convention this year. 10,000 attendees. They finally broke the five-digit mark. Did it beat NFC in numbers? Yeah, 100%. I do this story hour every year. And I mostly do it so that I can like share it with people, because people always ask me, oh, how did you like EF? How was it? What did you do? And I can info dump on people and spend 3 hours, 4 hours every time trying to talking about like every detail and tangenting off of things. Or I could have like a structured video where I just link people the video and then they can watch it in their own leisure, and instead of for like an hour at a time. And so that's mainly the reason why, but also I like remembering, right? I like going through all the stuff, all of my emotions and all of the events one by one, so I can remember them by, right? And this year also, I'm not 100% sure how I feel about the con, for reasons I'll get into. It's not like it wasn't bad. It was not bad. I had a good time. I don't know. Well, I'll get into it shortly. But like, if you want like just a quick like 3-sentence summary, like a TLDR in the first 5 minutes, what did I think about the convention? What happened there? What did I do? What the con was like was I hung out with my core group of friends for almost like 100% of the time I was there, and only went to like 1 or 2 events each year. I first shooted for the day that I first shooted the least amount of time. I first shooted for 9 hours because I was super tired. The other days I streamed for 12 or more hours. And it was totally worth it because I reaped all of the benefits of having a first shoot, which I will also get into shortly. And I had a good time, but I wish I would have done more than what I did. You're asking what really matters, EverCon 2026 or EF 2026? Well, I do have, that is a segment that is like at the very end. Like at the end, I'm gonna compare the conventions that I've gone to, right? Alright, but firstly, the introduction out of the way. Let's go day by day, event by event. What happened? Hello, welcome in, Rada, welcome in. But yeah, day by day, event by event. So Tuesday was the arrival day. It was my travel. I took a plane. I live in Portugal and this is in Germany. I took a plane. It was a uneventful travel, which is the ideal. You want it to be boring and not explosive or anything. Actually, you know what? I'll put these pictures a little smaller. He wanted to be boring. But I got there at like midnight. I got to my hotel at midnight. I got there, I landed at like 10 something, and I got to my hotel at midnight. When I got to my hotel, I wanted to have some food because I hadn't eaten for most of the day, or just like simple snacks. So I went to the McDonald's. It's the only thing open at like almost 1 a.m. I mean, it was an interesting start of my convention because one of the people that was like waiting in line there it was filled with furries, because the McDonald's is also always filled with furries there. He was very, 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 very drunk. This guy hadn't slept in like 48 hours, hadn't eaten anything for like 2 days or whatever, or like and started just drinking like, and he immediately got hammered. He got very, very touchy with me to the point that he started groping me up, and I was like, okay, this is happening. And his friends were like, whoa, hold on. Please don't press charges. And I'm like, dude, it's fine. I can tell he's super drunk. Just whatever, it's fine. It was an interesting start of the con. And then I went to the convention center just to like check out if it was popping or not. And there was like a lot of fursuiters there already, like at 1 or 2 in the morning. And so I went to my room to get in suit so I could go and join them, but that did not happen. When I got back, everybody had left. Like, it was 3 a.m. I guess, but 3 a.m. is the time that people like don't really, it's the time that people leave. So anyway, but yeah, and so because like there wasn't anyone, I got to see some fursuiters. I saw Kinora, which is he's a German furry. He's really cool. I wish I would have taken a picture with him, but I hadn't. In these pictures, you'll see that he's not here. So I just went to my room and went to sleep, because my goal was to be able to wake up at like noon-ish, because like the registration opens at like what, 8, 9 or something. And from past experience, I know that like it's not really worth it going there. Like the first or second year that EF was in Hamburg, they had like a ridiculously long queue and didn't really figure it out. But like last year, they had it down to a T, and this year was the same. Like the line was super fast. But I didn't really sleep. I couldn't sleep, and I woke up with this pounding headache. It was and I took some pain medications and went on my way, showered and everything, and got into suit. Okay, I'm gonna say this now. This applies for the entire rest of the convention. I earlier mentioned that I reaped all the benefits of suiting, right? The reason why I made my first suit. By the way, I made my first suit, I guess. Has a bunch of mistakes. I'm wanting to make a new one to fix them, but I'm gonna finish making it. I'm gonna make my feet paws and my full suit eventually. But the reason why I made it was so people could recognize me, right? So people, because when you're like just a human, nobody knows you by your human looks online, unless some specific reason. As furries, we're relatively anonymous in that way, but not really, because we have a persona or persona. So I wanted people to recognize me, and last year people did recognize me. I had like maybe a handful of people come up to me and be like, "Oh my God, you're Neth. I love your art." And I'm like, "Yeah, you do, right?" And so that was the main benefit. But this year, on top of that, I was in the same hotel I was last year, but this time I suited from my hotel to the convention, like every day when I got there, and like sometimes in the middle of the day too. So I walked to the streets of Hamburg in my first suit, right? And it was really cool because like normies, the normies that are like kind of like just hanging out or walking to and from wherever place, they would like see a giant rat like walk the streets, and they'd be like, they'd be like, you know, they'd be staring at me and not knowing that like I can see them. They you know, they can't tell that I'm maintaining eye contact. So when I would like get close enough, I'd like turn to them and give them a wave, and they'd be like, oh, they'd be like surprised, and they would smile and stuff. And a couple of times I even got to see like some children walking down the road, and like this little kid like went behind his mom and hiding from me. And when I got there, I crouched down and held my paws up for like a high five, and his mom was like, come on, go give him a high five. And he gave me a high five. It was super cute, right? So yeah, so like getting into suit and going to the convention is always a good time, right? Like having children actually think that you're cool, and just random people think that you're cool. Making other people's day in fursuit is always great, and I got to do that plenty. And on top of that, I also got to be recognized by people, right? And people that I had already known and had already known my suit and were already my friends could find me easier because of my suit, right? Again, I suited for like basically the entire day, every day, right? So yeah, like Wednesday, the first day of the convention, I went to registration. My friends, while they were waiting in line, found me and grabbed me and were like, oh, you want to like join us here in line? And I was like, being like, oh, they're asking me to cut the line. And I'm like, sure, I said. And it was fine. It was cool. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad I did that. I would, because, from then on, I hung out with my group of friends. This group of friends consists of Vence, you know, the guy that I met last year, Grim, his husband, Hoagie, and Galrock, and then like several other people that are like friends of theirs that I didn't know as well. So Brutus, Animus, Regus, Lyric, and a bunch of other people, right? And I hung out with these people basically the entire convention. That, as I described, like I spent basically 100% of my time with them, and it was awesome, right? But yeah, I sit in line with them. And the line went like really quickly. It was only like 20 to 30 minutes. To be fair, like I like cut the line in the middle, to be fair. But when I got to the registration, they were like, oh, this isn't the line for sponsors. This is the line for like just regular attendees. You actually have to go to the other side of the room, and the line starts there. And you can ask politely for them to let you cut the line or whatever. I'm sure they'll let you. I was like, oh fuck. And then I went to the other side of the room, there was literally no line. So it wasn't that big of an issue. I just waited in line 20 to 30 more minutes than I needed to. Whatever, doesn't matter. And then I went, and then as soon as I got my convention badge, I went to the Fursuit Lounge to get my Fursuit badge. And I also got that relatively quickly. Afterwards, we just kind of like hang out for like some time. Checked out the convention, checked out the location, right? And we went out for food. We went to a nearby restaurant a nearby Mexican restaurant. And the food was pretty good. It was really good, actually. The food was really good. We just waited like 30 minutes, 40 minutes for them to make the food. To be fair, we got there like 4 p.m. It's way after lunchtime, way before dinner time, so we got there in the deadest fucking hour. But the food was great. And again, going out to lunch with your friends is like the best thing that you can do at a convention. It's like one of the top 3 things that you can do at a convention. So it was great. It was great hanging out with them. Great having good talks over a meal and drinks and such. And yeah, and I went to lunch with basically the people that I mentioned, Vince, Grimm, Hoagie, and Galrock, and me. Right? Then afterwards, we went to the opening ceremony, which was an opening ceremony. It was an event, right? It was the typical, as always, event. We went to an overflow like location, which was a theater. They have a theater at the CCH. I didn't even know they had a theater at the CCH. They got, like, every year they've expanded their size of the convention. They haven't, like, the first year they only got the, like, bottom floor. The second year they got the first 2 floors. And then they've been adding, like, and then now we finally have the final floor. But there's still areas of the convention that they're still cordoned off. There's still room to grow, and there's still the Radisson. I don't think there was anything, there wasn't very many panel rooms in the Radisson, so it's like there's still room to expand, right? So we went to this theater room, which I didn't know they had, and it was like super cozy. It was like a theater room. Like the seating was nice. Like in the main stage area, they have like chairs that they put there, like seating. And here it was just like a proper theater, so it was really cozy. And that was cool. Yeah, I mean, the guest of honor was Art Crimes, Animal Art Crimes. And you know Animal Art Crimes. Blotch from back in the day, I think was made by 2 members of Animal Art Crimes, or 1 member that like split and then is now. So it's like, wow, old Blotch. They invited old Blotch here. So what was the total wait time? Like 20 to 30 minutes for me. So, but I don't know. Probably, I don't know. Shrug. And yeah, and then basically that was most of what we did in the day. We kind of like just hung out at the artist lounge. But I think someone randomly wanted to go to like a pop quiz panel, so we kind of just did that, and it was actually really fun. And we just kind of randomly decided to do that. The only other thing that happened that is relevant during the day. So basically every time, so all of these days, my friends are we're staying at an Airbnb that's like way far. It's like a 10 to 15 minute subway ride over, which is not walkable. Basically, that's like 2 or 3 hours walking, right? I was like staying in a place that's 10 to 15 minutes walking. So they would always leave early at like 1 a.m. every day, or a little bit before 1 a.m. And then I would stay until like 2 or 3. But I didn't really do much during those 3 hours a lot of times. I just kind of like hung out and tried taking pictures with people. Kind of like checked out the dance, but didn't really stay there. Like the raves. The only other thing that so in the night before they left, right? The group of people that I'm hanging out with, I'm actually going to be playing D&D with in September, probably mid-September. Because we're all going, our DM was like, do you guys want to do a one-shot? I could do a one-shot for you guys while we were there, since we're all going to be together. And I was like, you know what? That's actually a great idea. And so we decided to do that, but we didn't really schedule a time or place. I had suggested we do it on Wednesday, but we never really talked about when or where to do it, but beyond that. And so Wednesday came around and Wednesday evening, and we were like, are we gonna do that now? Like where? And so we kind of like scouted out like possible locations in the venue, and they have a tabletop room. They had a tabletop room, but there was like several events that like pre-organized events. So we picked a day where there wasn't any of those events, or a day and time, and then and the place. So we decided to do it on Saturday morning. Saturday morning at like 9 in the morning. Holy fuck! When I'm going to bed at like 3 or 4 in the morning every day. Holy shit. It is what it is. And there was also like some events happening during Saturday morning that I wanted to have, or early afternoon, which the game extended into, that I wanted to have gone to, but whatever, right? I'm like, I can go to these panels every year. I have never played D&D in person, so it's a first time experience for me, and I really wanted to do that. Yeah, after that, that was the day. Took some pictures, went home. Next day, for Wednesday, no, this was Wednesday. Thursday, the thing that we had mostly agreed that we all wanted to do the next day was the bar game show hosted by Dream and Nightmare. It was basically like Kahoot, but with the for bar stuff. And I don't think the panel lasted very long, and we didn't I don't know. It wasn't as good as last time, as 2 years ago, because that same panel was hosted 2 years ago, and it was a little better. And I'm not entirely sure why, but whatever. You know, it was fine. It was okay, right? It was fine. However, immediately after the bar game show, was one of the 2 dance competitions. It was the Enter the Arena. Guys, actually, hold on. Is it? I need to check really quickly. To see if they have, because I know these streams of the events. Oh my gosh. Here we go. I don't know. 7 months. It's only 5 months from now they're gonna do. Dude, Enter the Arena for this year was so good. I really hope they upload the video at some point, because I want to watch it back. It was so good. It was one of the highlights of my convention. Like, it was so fire. Like, normally you get the really good dances at the Enter the Arena anyway, but literally every contestant had an insane dance. Like, I was sure that the guy that was playing was gonna win like at least 5 times. So 5 of the 20 contestants had an incredible freaking dance, and several of them were like people that I had either seen from last year, or like content creators that like do dancing stuff. Oh fuck, I wanted to watch it so bad. Whatever, I want to rewatch it so bad. I want to watch it so bad, but I'll have to wait, I guess, for it to come out on YouTube at some point. We afterwards, there was some other stuff that I had wanted to do, but that's already like, I only went to the dance with one other of my friends, and we wanted to reconvene. Apparently everyone else had already gone out for food, so me and Hoagie went to like this McDonald's to just grab something to eat. But actually we had like a really nice, like, long conversation at the thing, so it was really good. It was really good. I actually had a really good time. That was also a really good use of my time. But like after lunch, I was like, oh my god, I was so exhausted. So, and that's something that started with Tuesday, the day that I got there, my arrival day, and went on through the entire of the convention, right? It is now worth mentioning that about a month and a half ago, almost 2 months now, I had like a heart condition thing happen. I had a myocarditis. My heart got inflamed. I ended up in the ER, and I ended up hospitalized for a couple of weeks. And I've been recovering since. So the entirety of July, I basically spent sitting down and laying down and literally doing nothing, and just resting and streaming. Right, streaming is kind of like fine to do, and not stressing myself at all, so I could like come to Eurofurence and have it be chill. The first day, like literally Tuesday, just traveling from home to EF was so exhausting. Carrying my bags, walking a bunch, it being like 37 degrees Celsius weather, right? It was very exhausting on Tuesday, and then I didn't really sleep much from Tuesday to Wednesday because I had a huge headache. And then again, and as I've said, I shooted for like 12 hours every day. So not only was I not sleeping, not only did I start my time by exerting myself a lot, I also just kept going non-stop. And I was like, basically the entire convention was like a stamina meter management mini game for me. I always had like the freaking, and I was always in the yellow and red, and like took short breaks to recover it, so just enough so that I could continue. Oh my gosh, and it was so tiring. I was so tired the entire time. I literally can't. I'm still waddling. I'm still waddling today, Monday, and yesterday. To be fair, yesterday I also traveled, but still, you know, it's like still waddling. My legs and feet are still hurt. So yeah, after McDonald's and after the dance competition, I just kind of like we just in between events and in between all of these things, we just kind of like sat down at the artist lounge and just hang out. People just drew and stuff, and I sat down and I almost fell asleep. I almost took a nap. On Thursday, the last thing that I wanted to do on Thursday was the karaoke. If you've been on my streams before for the past 3 years, you know that I've been practicing songs to sing at this karaoke event, like over and over, and in hopes that they add the songs to their playlist, their like karaoke machine thing, and they haven't yet. They didn't add the songs that I wanted. But and I ended up playing like I ended up singing like a song that I hadn't listened to for like years and years, and hadn't practiced, and it was actually kind of bad because like I was super off pitch, and the song was just like repeating basically the same verse over and over, so it was also boring, and it was like reliant on the singer's voice being really good, which mine, you know, I'm not a singer. I didn't practice the song, so it was kind of very mid, right? I sang Paradise by Coldplay. Like they only have like the only songs that it's like anything after 2020 is not there. Maybe even 2015. No, probably 2015. They still have things. Excuse me. But like anything after 2020 is not there. So I sang that song. It went pretty poorly. But I guess like afterwards, like during the several following days, people came up to me and were like, "Oh my God, you're the rat that sang on stage. You were so cool. You sang so well. It was a really good song. Hell yeah for doing that." And I was like, thank you. I really didn't think so, but thank you so much. And so, you know what? I guess it was hi. Hello, Chris. Welcome in. I'm doing my yearly review. But yeah, while we were waiting for like our turn for karaoke, me, Hoagie, Galrock, and Lyric played a tabletop game called Not a Hat, which I guess is a game he learned from like watching Smosh or something, and it was really fun. Even though we only played it for like 20 to 30 minutes, it was a highlight of my day. This day it was basically like the bar game show, the dance, and then karaoke. And then like a 6-hour period where I did, or 6 to 9 hour period where I didn't really do much other than just like hang out and walk around and stuff. But yeah, and then same as always, my friends went to like bed. They left the con at like 1 a.m. and then I kind of like hung around and took some pictures and such, like until like 2 or 3. Same as always. I think I actually I didn't stay that long on Thursday. But yeah, Friday, the day started. I, again, didn't sleep very much. Super, excited, filled with adrenaline and cortisol. Was the fursuit parade. The fursuit parade in the morning. There was also the dealer's den. Because the dealer's den opens on Thursday, but the line was freaking insane. But I did manage to get to the dealer's den on Friday. We went out for ramen. There was a rodent meet I wanted to go to, which I'll talk about shortly. And there was the karaoke. So how did the parade go? The parade was parade, right? But I actually met several people that I had wanted to meet, or I met one of the people that I wanted to meet that I hadn't met up to that point yet. Right? Because it's like, before the convention, you kind of like check several of the people that you know. You scroll to the blue sky and try and notice people that you that are going. And like there was Revel that I met the previous day. that I had wanted to meet at the con that I originally met him at EberCon, and now I was meeting at Eurofurence, and I did see him. I did get to say hello. I met Enzo, who is a big lion, who I also met at EberCon, who I also saw there. I didn't really get a picture with him, unfortunately, but he does show up he does show up in one of the pictures. Hold on, actually, can I? So one of the pictures from when I was in the registration. See here, hold on. The big lion over here, in the back. This orange lion, that's Enzo. I saw him out of suit. We talked while he was out of suit, but I'm not gonna take a picture of him while he's out of suit. I want to take pictures. I don't want to like infringe on people's privacies, etc. Especially since I'm gonna be doing this this review. So I tried only taking pictures of people I knew while they were in fursuit, right? Hello Zeno, welcome. But yeah, we not only did I meet Enzo the first day of the con, right? I also met Revel, as I described earlier. And on Friday, I met Pearly Flames, who is also another person that I met at EberCon that I knew was going to come to EF. Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. Today I'm not doing the redeem speak, or at least not for the first bit of my stream, since I'm doing the review. I'll do that after my review finishes. But yeah. I met Pearly Flames, and we had, again, a nice conversation. I took pictures with him. He's like a fox, like in a Robin Hood kind of like outfit. It's really, really cool. But not only that, I actually met 3 other Brodents at the fursuit parade, and I chatted with them while we were like hanging out there. Right? I met Yonag, Piers Eriks, and Ramsey, and all 3 of them I kind of knew tangentially from certain things. So first of all, Piers Eriks, he streams on Twitch sometimes, often, and I knew him. I knew him from somewhere, but I wasn't 100% sure. And that's where and it was only afterwards like I was like, oh my god, wait, I totally know where I know you from. And it was from Twitch. Yonag, I knew tangentially. I didn't know him before, but his suit is made by another Portuguese furry, and not any other Portuguese furry, like a local guy who lives in my town, the town that I live in, right? Dude, it's such a small world, right? It's like I meet some random person whose fursuit is like made by a person who lives in my town, right? And then I also met Ramsey, who is a rat that was he was running the rodent meet, which I went to afterwards. Yeah, and we hung out during the entire fursuit parade, and we chatted, and it was awesome. Then after the parade, I went to the dealer's end. I stored my fursuit in the fursuit lounge. The fursuit lounge is insanely good at Eurofurence. It's like one of the best. I'll talk about that in my section about the organization of the event. Right, I do have a section about when I'm going to talk about the organization of the event. But yeah, I went to the dealer's den. Because the previous day the line was insanely long, and I didn't want to deal with that. And when the line was also super long when I got there on that day, on Friday. But it was because like people were there before, right? People were like there in anticipation. The like dealers then opened at 2. People were there at noon waiting, right? So me and my friends all wanted to go. We all kind of waited until 2 p.m. until the line cleared out a little bit. Hello Terasaki, welcome. I'm doing my review, my Eurofurence review. And the line, at 2 p.m. after we waited for an hour, the line actually was going super fast. And even though we went to the end of the line, we only had to wait 15 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes to get into the dealer's end, which was crazy. I bought a bunch of stuff, you know. I went in there with a shopping list of things that I wanted to buy. I wanted to buy like a lanyard because I want a new one. I wanted to buy fursuit parts. I needed to buy like eye blanks and eye meshes because I want to make another fursuit hat, as I described earlier. When I talked about when I made my fursuit, and then I wanted to buy like fursuit spray. I wanted to buy a balaclava and fursuit gloves that you put under like your fursuit paws, right? And like any blind merch, right, that I could find. And I also needed to get the stuff that I got from being a sponsor, which I hadn't done. And I got all those things. I didn't actually get a balaclava or the fursuit gloves. And I bought a couple other things. I bought a rat mat, right? Like instead of a mouse pad, I bought a rat pad, right? It's a pad with rats, and it's really good. It's really cute. And then, oh, that's another thing that was on my list. And then, what else did I buy? I guess that was it. I bought like some posters, so like a couple of like posted cards and things like that. And some really cool, good looking underwear, right? But I didn't buy, you know, and that was it. I didn't spend like an insanely huge amount of money at the dealer's end because I wasn't really about that. I was actually quite restrained. And then after that, I went to my hotel, left my stuff there, and went to we went out for ramen. We all got together, and the group of friends, me, Grim, Vents, Hoagie, and Brutus this time instead of Calrock, went to a place with ramen. And I hadn't really met Brutus before then very well. And I mean, I had met him during the fursuit parade, or we hung out. We'd been hanging out, right? But like, this is like the first proper time that we're like actively hanging out. And dude, as I said, every lunch that I've had, or every meal that I had with every day was a banger, right? Like, it was so fun. It was so fun hanging out with all my friends. It was and we had such good laughs at the ramen place. The food was delicious. We stayed there for like a long time. You know, it's like the staff was really nice as well. It was just a great time. Immediately after, though, like, we had lunch, quote unquote, at like 5 to 7 p.m. I guess that's more like dinner, but that's like what we had for lunch. And then we immediately after, I went to the rodent meet, which was so the thing about meets is meets are typically really not worth going to, because it's just like a room where people are like standing around and they, you know, it's like you have a thing in common, I guess. If it's a species meetup, then it's like there's probably fursuits of that type there. But there was a person that I had met that I talked to before then, that I made plans with kind of meeting. I made plans with to buy him a drink. I wanted to buy Berserk a drink, because this was his first con and I wanted him to have a good time. He was having a fucking amazing time without me, let me tell you. But I did buy him a drink. I did fulfill my word. I was a man of my word. I was a rat of my word, and I did buy him a drink at the Ronan's meet. Hello, Valerie. I'm going through my yearly Eurofurence review. But yeah, it was great. It was the meet was better than you would expect. Okay, actually, here, let me go to the pictures. I took some pictures. Was this the before? No. Yeah, here you go. These are like some of I didn't take a picture. Did I not take a picture with? Oh my gosh, I deleted the wrong picture. Whatever. Like these. This is a picture I took. This was the rodent meet. This was another one of my rodents. And so was this. I totally forgot to put all the pictures there. That's fine, I guess. But yeah. It was better than your average meet because I was invested in hanging out and talking about rats with people. basically. I'd gone to other meets where they're really not worth going to, but this time it was worth going to, right? And I bought Berserker a drink, which is again a thing that I wanted to do. But yeah, after that, like it was shortly after that we went to karaoke again. And that night, the karaoke was probably the highlight of the convention. So we all got together, we all waited for our turns, we all got super drunk. I didn't get super drunk, but like Vince was super drunk, Hoagie was super drunk, like even Annie and Graham drank a bit, right? I had a couple drinks. And it was a great time. I picked a song in like the previous day that I could actually sing. And people like just sang their hearts out, and they were super drunk, and they were like all giggly and fun, and me too. I mean, I didn't drink that much, but I was having a good time. And so, yeah, and so like after that, after we all like sung, we kind of like parted ways, and they went back to their hotel room, and I again hung out a little bit and then left. I'm pretty sure that Friday was the best day, like by a large margin. Why? Because it's like I didn't stop doing anything for like even a moment, right? It was like the parade, into immediately the dealer's den, into immediately ramen, into immediately the Roman meat, and then immediately into karaoke. And that was like, it was like these 5 things. It was these 5 things that I did back to back to back to back. And because there was like no downtime, basically, I was like, no, I was never bored. I was never tired. I was too busy to be tired. Not Glass. Jared's, welcome in. Welcome in. I'm doing my review right now. But yeah. And on top of that, like, again, I had an amazing time with my friends the entire day. I even met another one of the people that I wanted to meet while I was heading home. I met Warris, who saved my convention on like the second Eurofurence that I went to, that salvaged it. I had a great, I managed to talk with him. It was great. But yeah, and then this is the second to last day, the last day, Saturday. What I have written down is D&D, and then I took a nap. We went to an Italian restaurant, and then we said our goodbyes. So as I had alluded to earlier, we had planned to make our D&D one shot on Saturday. So I got there really early, and for like the first half of the day, basically for the first like 5 hours of the day, it was like they got there a little late, and we had to end a little early because the event that it was on this con schedule for that location was pushed up a little bit. I guess people didn't even say that they were going to be doing it. It didn't show up in the scheduling at all, but whatever. We left a little early because someone said that they needed a table. So, but we still did D&D, and it was great. It was great. Grim is actually a really good DM. I hadn't played with him as a DM yet. So this is my first experience with that. I mean, I can tell because like the way that we've been talking about his game and when he talks about D&D, he's a great DM. I bought a bunch of snacks when I went to the grocery shopping earlier, and we didn't eat even half of them. But I know that's what you're supposed to do. And Animus was there watching us, as well as Brutus, because it was Grim who was the DM, and then it was me playing a barbarian, Hoagie playing a ranger, Galrock playing a wizard, and Vents playing a fighter, and everyone was like popping off. They were super full of flavor and such. They were, it was awesome. It was awesome, and we finished the adventure. We managed to finish the adventure. We didn't have to complete it later, and it was this is kind of like a prelude, vaguely, to like our actual campaign. Not our characters, but like it's vaguely a prelude. And so it was really fun. It was really fun. Afterwards, we just kind of like hung out for like the rest of the afternoon. Like we stopped at like 2:30, And basically until like 8, we didn't really do much. So I didn't really like that. But I was also super fucking tired. Like I didn't really go out to eat anywhere. I just like went to one of the food trucks and got a slice of pizza for $10. Super overpriced food, but whatever. I just needed to get something in my system. And then, like, I was so tired and I wanted hugs and cuddles. I just literally laid on the floor on one of the areas that there was a bunch of like seating pillows and literally just fell asleep. I took like a 2-hour nap in fursuit. Okay. It was kind of funny because like there was one, like people came in to check on me. Like someone came up to check on me if like to see if I was like conscious and or if they were like, oh, are you okay? Do you need anything? I was like, no, I'm good, thank you. And then I went back to sleep. Someone came up to me and was like, yeah, hello, do you want pets? Can I pet you? And I was like, sure. And then they hung out a little bit and tried talking to me, but I literally couldn't hear anything because there was loud music playing. I had my fan and I had like one ear covered and I was in fursuit. So it's like I could not hear them at all. I think they were like maybe vaguely offended because they just kind of like got up and left a little bit after. They pet my fursuit head, my blah blah blah. It was cute, but I was like half asleep. So, and then my friends woke me up like a couple hours after because they were like, oh, we're gonna go to dinner and you want to come? And I was like, I really wanted to continue napping. And I knew with every fiber of my being that it was a bad idea. Well, not every fiber of my being, because I really wanted to continue napping. But it's the last day. The thing is, my plan for the last day was I wanted to take a nap so that I could have energy, like to stay up extra late in the night, because I knew that my flight was at like 5 p.m. So I would be able to like stay in like really late and go to the Big Blue dance, hosted by Big Blue Fox, which is like the biggest rave of the event. It's like it always ends with a bang, right? But during the day, I got a message asking for from the airline saying, yeah, oh, you can like check in already, and it was like I was supposed to check in at 1 p.m. So it was like multiple hours before. So I was like, oh, actually I can't stay that late, meaning that I shouldn't be taking a nap, and meaning that I actually should go to this dinner. And I went for dinner and we had Italian, and it was awesome. It was the restaurant was really good food. And as always, every time I go out with a meal with someone, I did that every day of this convention. It was a great time. Like, we had laughs and chats and we had good food. And it's just the Portuguese in me that, when you're sitting down with your friends having a good meal, everything is okay. Everything is good. And it was a great time. We went back to the convention. The last few hours, just hung out a little bit. We said our goodbyes, and they left because they had to leave early, right? And I stayed around to take one last round of pictures like I had done before. And actually, during this last round of pictures, I actually met a bunch of really cool people that I had wanted to meet. I met Ronnie, who's one of the dancers. At the end again, oh my god, I cannot wait for the thing to be posted. I cannot wait for the Enter the Arena to be posted online. It's so good. I'm actually gonna look at some of these content creators to see if they have their own recordings, because it's like I want to see it so badly. It was so good. So yeah, I met Ronnie. I met Jolin, who I'd been meeting on occasion during the con. And we hung out more than we had. Jolin was like on fire. He was like super requested by anyone, and I really wanted to hang out a lot more than I did with him, but he was like all over the place and super requested. And I met Muff Woof, Ronnie Noodles, not that Ronnie, funny enough, the other Ronnie, I took a picture with him. Ronnie was one of the judges, as he always is. This guy. Whoops. This guy, also named Ronnie. Also really good dancer, right? Am I covering him? I'm covering him a little bit. Right, this guy was cool. And another really cool person that I met, Muff Woof, who I hadn't gotten his name last year, but last year he was one of the people that made me had a really good time, right? Because I was having like a kind of like down, you know, like my convention was winding down. I was sort of getting post-con depression, and he went up to me and was like, "Oh, it's finally. I'm just hanging out and having a really nice time hanging out with all these like cutie rats that I'm seeing." And I was like, "Oh, is there any other rats?" He's like, "No, silly, it's you." It's like, "Oh, okay." You know, I was being a little coy, and it's like kind of like friendly, platonically flirted with me, you know. And it's like, and it was really nice. And I went up to him, and this year I had like a way longer conversation with him. And it was super nice. And I'm glad I have his name now. And I have his contact and such. So again, it was really nice. And then yeah. Oh, last I also met I had been again extended friend group, like friend of a friend of a friend. Rainy Yatsu, also another Rainy. Another artist that I wanted to meet and talk to that hadn't really made plans but I knew, or I didn't even know that he was coming. But he did, and I want to like, you know, introduce myself. And he and I did. I got to like a little bit before I left, and yeah, that was it for the most part. The Sunday was like departure day. We kind of just like, flight was uneventful. It got delayed, I guess, by like 30 minutes, but like 30 minutes too far. I was in the plane when it got delayed, right? Yeah, that was the entire convention. Okay, so that was like the day-by-day thing. That was like the day-by-day, hour by hour, not hour by hour, but like event by event thing. The hour by hour event, right? So you really wanted to meet some people from the guest of honor. Dude, I was like a little starstruck by like who the guests of honor were, like, because it's a blotch, right? It's like back in the day, 20 years ago blotch, right? So it was crazy, but I know that blotch split up, and then they're now Kenkid and some other person, and that Kenkid is, yeah. And so Kenkid was yeah, and a lot of the merch from from EF, like the t-shirt and all the other stuff, was made by them too. So it's like, and a lot of the art, yeah, I didn't meet them, but it was fine. Yeah, so now that my, again, play-by-play is done, let's talk about a little bit of the general talking points of the convention, right? So my hopes and fears. Okay, what was I hoping for, and what was I fearing that would happen? My biggest fears was that I wouldn't have fun. I was so scared that I was just gonna spend the entire time bored and alone. And I'm glad that was not the case, right? I was also really scared that my sickness, my heart condition, would flare up, and I would have to just like sit in my hotel for like a day or whatever, until I felt better. And I'm glad that didn't happen. That did not happen, and I didn't have to say. I got to go super hard every day. I was scared that I wouldn't even find the people that I planned to meet, which was also not the case. I also met most of the people that I wanted to meet. I was scared that like nobody would like pay mine to my fursuit, which was a dumb fear because I already knew that it was pretty good, like because last year and at EberCon and at the bowling meet, whatever, people already said that you know, my fursuit is cool and people like it anyway, so it's fine. But I was really just scared that I wouldn't be able to take advantage of my convention time as best as I could, right? That was my biggest fear, which is not 100% unfounded, but it was mostly unfounded, right? I had a good time, and my hopes were that, again, that I would meet everyone that I wanted to meet, which I did mostly. I hoped I you know, kind of have the vague hope that I get to hook up with anyone, that like go on a date or like with a stranger, or like have sex with, like end up in a sexy room party, but that didn't happen. But I don't really go for that anyway, and it's not like a big deal because it's like those things can be like really hit or miss from what I hear, right? It's like you could have a really good time, or it could make you have an even worse time than you were having before. So I was just kind of like hoping that it would happen, but not really expecting or I wasn't upset that it didn't happen. I really however, wanted to get cuddles, because I got cuddles at EberCon, and now I know how good they are, and I didn't really get to cuddle anyone, and I was like, oh my god, dude, if I had managed to get cuddles, the convention would have been like 10% to 20% better. Maybe. But I wanted to get a bunch of fursuit hugs. I wanted people to like my suit and compliment my suit. We were gonna do D&D. I wanted to do D&D in person finally, and it was great. I loved D&D in person. I wanted to go out to have food with my friends, because that's like one of the best things that you can do at a convention, and I did every day. I did do that every day. And I wanted to go to all of the cool events, which honestly, I know that that's unrealistic and it didn't happen. But whatever, right? It's like I was expecting that to not happen and it didn't happen. I was just hoping that I could. I went to like a few cool events, right? Which is better than none. But yeah. So expectations versus reality kind of situation. Let's just do a reality check. For expectations, I really tried to keep my expectations to a minimum, because you really got to be flexible at conventions, right? You really got to like make vague plans, but be able to change them at a moment's notice, because maybe your friends don't want to go, maybe something else really cool pops up, maybe you get invited to a room party, blah, 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 right? So I didn't really make any plans besides like just hanging out with people, and those plans were, you know, accomplished. So yeah, I did, however, the thing about the events, I really didn't get to go to as many events as I wanted to have gone to, because like they were overlapping a lot of times. Either there were several events that I wanted to go to that were overlapping, or my friends were doing something else that I was really wanting to, like a lot of times they would be like, oh, there's a cool event happening, and then my friends are like, oh, do you want to go out for dinner? I'm like, or lunch or whatever, and I'm like, well, I have to, right? That's the whole reason I'm here. So it was a little sad. And then on top of that, when my friends weren't doing anything, when they were just kind of like hanging out at the artist lounge and drawing, like there wasn't any cool events happening that I could have gone to in exchange, right? So it's like it was very much like I was either, there was everything happening at the same time and I had to make tough choices, or I was kind of bored and not really doing anything, you know, sometimes, right? So it was kind of like half and half, right? And yeah, like, so you can tell that so for my hopes and fears and expectations versus reality, what happened was my worst fears didn't happen, my highest hopes didn't happen either, and the things that I thought were going to be the worst I managed to avoid, and the things that I really wanted to do, to have a baseline good con, I achieved, right? So I had like an over, like, so I guess I can leave that to the conclusion, like my overall enjoyment. So I'll leave that there. But like you can kind of like vaguely maybe tell like where I'm leading to this. But like in regards to the organization of the event itself, the organization of the event itself was, in one word, perfect, or flawless if you want, right? I have no notes. The registration went fast and it was super organized. The I think the dealer's den like probably was a little slow, but like I went on the second day and it was totally fine. So it's like I didn't have any issues with that, right? There was like some delays, but like delays always happen, right? And the delays were like no longer than 30 minutes typically, right? So again, pretty fine. Like the convention managed it basically perfectly, right? The Fursuit Lounge, if you don't know, the Fursuit Lounge at Eurofurence is the best one in the world by a big margin. It's basically this big warehouse with just like racks and racks of like shelving units that have fans built into them. Like these humongous like fans with seating in front of them to like cool people. Like there's like a station to reactivate cooling pads for easy packs for easy cooldown vests. There's a station for like hydration and a station for like just eating gummies to get your electrolytes back. Literally like perfect, right? The First Lounge is the best one in the world, right? There was like again thousands of fursuits in there. I had a really hard time finding a spot for mine, but whatever, right? I just like put it on the floor or on a table or whatever the hell. Tiny little morsel of space I could find whenever I needed to leave it there to like cool my packs or whatever. Especially because I was first shooting 12 hours a day. I especially like the two main things that I noticed. Okay, there was so many more seating arrangements. There was so many places to sit down. Right, there's tons of couches, beanbags, chairs, like even just carpets on the floor, right? Like so many. It was so good. Like I didn't even use a lot of them because I just hang out at the artist lounge, basically, which always has chairs. But like I always saw people hanging out in these seating locations, and it was so good. It was so perfect. I don't know if like the number is correct. I know that the people that registered for the con were like 9,000 and change, and probably by the end of it, I didn't go to the closing ceremony. By the end, there was like 10,000 people at this convention. They finally broke 5 digits. Holy fuck! The biggest European convention ever, or European furry convention ever. It didn't feel like it. It was not overcrowded. It was really, it was like there was a lot of people, but it didn't feel like people weren't cramped, right? And I described earlier that they've been making the CCH grow and grow every year. Like the first year, there was only the first floor. Second year, there was the first 2 floors. Third year, there was the first 3 floors. And now this year, there's all of them. There's the first, we have the full 4 floors of the CCH, the Convention Center of Hamburg. And there's still like areas that were still locked off. So there's still more room to go. I also really liked that they added the Coda Club, which is like basically literally like a nightclub, where they did several events. Like the rodent meet was in there, which is kind of funny because they put us underground in the sewers as the rodents. Is really funny. 9,530 attendees. Okay, so it wasn't 10,000. But like, is that the final number, or is it like even counting day tickets, or no? But I digress. It was not overpacked. Okay. So, in conclusion, So that was like, again, my what I expected, what I expected to happen, what happened, my hopes and fears, like all of what the description of what happened at the con. How was my personal enjoyment of it? How it was well organized, but did that matter for me, right? As I described earlier, I felt like there was times where there was everything happening and that I had to make tough choices, and times when nothing was happening and I was kind of like bored, right? The thing is, like, I was really exhausted for the entire convention, right? Holy fuck, I was, as I described earlier, from day 0 of the con, I was pissed tired. And I just did not stop. So honestly, having times where like there wasn't anything happening was good. It was kind of like a blessing in disguise. But in those situations, what would have really helped is like literally just a break. Literally just going to a hotel room, taking my head off, and like watching YouTube videos and rehydrating and having food again. I could have gone to the Fursuit Lounge. I could have stayed at the Artist Lounge, whatever. It's not the same as laying down and such, right? I really wish I could have done that. But, I mean, this is a convention center convention, so it's kind of a little bit inevitable. I really wish that I was better prepared, because, again, I was so tired. I really wish I hadn't had my heart thing happen, so I could, like, not be as fucking exhausted. I just had, like, I didn't sleep, and had a bunch of muscle fatigue. I went immensely hard all day, every day, and that kind of really fucking sucked. But it was, it was okay. In the end of the day, I had fun. I also liked that my friends had a default location to be at. If we ever lost each other, we would all go to the Artist Lounge, and then people would eventually find each other. We also had like a Telegram group chat that we could like be like, yo, where's everyone, blah blah blah, which we used several times during the con, which was also great. I didn't like that, like, there was a bunch of downtime where I wasn't really doing much. That's what I didn't like. But or that I could have been doing better stuff with my downtime. I don't know. Again, it was like but however, that's the worst part of the mic time here, which is not that bad, right? If that's like the worst part, that's not that bad. Like, I got to have lunch or dinner out with my friends, and those were like the amazing times, the memorable times, the things I'm gonna remember. Like, I'm gonna remember, like, everyone laughing and saying jokes, and the toasts that we had and the food that we had and such. The karaoke's were like really good and really fun. I suited the entire time, which again was extremely tiring, but it's super, super, super rewarding, right? Like, people kept coming up to me and being like, oh, you're the guy that was at the blah 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 earlier this convention, or wait, you're Neth, I love your art, right? Or something. And like the kids that come up to me and are like, oh my god, it's a giant rat, and normies complimenting me and such, or like even other furries being like, oh my god, a rat, or whatever. It was just like amazing, right? Yeah, so again, all in all, it was pretty good. I'm not gonna rate it just yet, because I have to compare it to my other times, my other conventions that I've gone to. So this is my fifth. It's my fifth convention. I've gone to Eurofurence 27, 28, 29, and this is 30. And I've gone to EbearCon, right? First convention that I went to was great, was amazing, because of the wow factor of like, oh my god, I'm finally home. There's furries, holy shit, right? Second convention I went to, dazzle, stars in my eyes, expected it to be even better. It was a lot worse, because I made a shitty fursuit. I exhausted myself doing it. I wore it around and was very impractical. I had some good events and I hung out with people, but like the overall experience was pretty mid because I didn't have a person that I was like glued to or hanging out with the entire time, and I didn't have a great time. And my second convention, so much so that for my third con, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to go. I was like, should I even? Is it even worth it? I ended up going, and I had an awesome time as well. I met Vence. I made plans to hang out with Vence, and I hung out with Vence and all of his friends for the entire convention last year, Eurofurence 29. And I had an amazing time. My suit was a success. I suited a bunch, and it was awesome. However, the best convention that I had gone to when I went to EberCon, I didn't have any expectations because it's like, I don't know the staff, I don't know the event, I don't know the venue. I know half of the staff. I don't know if they're capable, basically. And it was okay, right? Like my term of comparison for like how an event is organized is Eurofurence, and Eurofurence is again 30 years old at this point. So that's my term of comparison, and it was not as good of a like as Eurofurence organization one, but it was my best convention to that point. It was the convention I had the most fun at because of the people that I went with, right? I glued myself to Jolin and I didn't leave him, and I met a bunch of his friends and we cuddled a few times. And honestly, that's why I'm saying that like the cuddling made a difference. It actually made a difference. But also because it was a hotel convention and I could like literally just go to my hotel room and unwind a lot of times, or whenever I wasn't doing anything, right? So I could like fill my empty time with like and distract myself. So it was actually really good. I don't know if I liked this convention more or less than EberCon. I'm pretty sure I liked it more than last year's con. I don't even know, right? This is the thing. Like objectively, I hit every beat, but like there's this underlying like I was always tired. I was bored of like for 30 to 40% of my time. Well, that's a little exaggerated, but I wasn't alone. I was not alone, and that is a huge factor. I really wish I would have gotten cuddles, because that would have like raised my enjoyment of the convention by a grade almost, right? I think I'm gonna rate it lower than EberCon. Do I rate it lower than last year's convention? Maybe. All right, and okay, so I will rate it a 8 out of 10. It is, I think. I rated my time at the second year convention like a 7 out of 10. Oh my gosh, whatever. Which was probably a little generous, but I did have like some good times there during my second year con. This was definitely better than that one, 100%. It was also better than my first year convention, which is why I have a hard time rating it an 8 out of 10. I think I'll rate it an 8.5. 8.5. You said you wanted to see the Pause on Fire's dance battle. I didn't get to see the dance battle. Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, that is basically it, right? I think it was like overall like an 8.5 out of 10. I had a good time. I had a really good time with my friends. The worst that I could have gone did not happen. The best that it could have gone didn't happen. And overall, my entire time was filled and happy. I was filled and happy the entire time. You know, and it was a good time. I bought some stuff. It was just, I was tired the entire time, and I was just, I remember my first year at Eurofurence. And there was a guy I met named Alex there, and I felt like what I felt like he had felt that year. He thought that that was gonna be his only convention ever, basically, and so he wanted to go super hard, super fast every day, and was trying to do literally every event, hang out with everyone that he could, get as many cuddles and hugs and everything that he could, and so he ended up just looking like he was stressed all the time. And that's kind of like how I felt a little bit. Like I felt like I wasn't really taking advantage of the convention as much as I could have been, even though I was, right? So I honestly felt like I just kind of like stressed myself out. But objectively speaking, I did basically everything that I wanted to do. It's just my feelings about it are different. But like, also, you know, I want to go back. I didn't want it to finish. I want to meet my friends again. I want to go to EberCon, depending on how much EberCon is, right? I want to go to like an American convention, right? Like coming back home and scrolling through social media, seeing everyone's times, and I'm just hit with this massive like, fuck, I wish that was me. Fuck, I wish I would have done that. Holy shit, you were there. I wish I would have met you. Right? It's just like just like, fuck, I could have done more. I could have met more. And it's like, well, I did do everything that I wanted to do. You can't really do everything that you want to do at a convention. Honestly, maybe that's a good argument for why this convention is maybe getting a little too big. 10,000 people is kind of crazy. And if you're always feeling like you're stressed and you want to be doing everything and you're not being able to do everything, maybe EberCon. I mean, yeah, probably EberCon. But I want to go again. I want to go to Eurofurence again. So, especially because of what it means to me, right? Like, every year I try to, like, I work up to this convention. Whatever job I get, right? Whatever art I do for commissions, right? However much I organize like my months and my blocks, drawing blocks, to make the certain amount of money so that I know that I can make it to the convention. It's all so that I can go to Eurofurence, right? And I stream basically every day, kind of, well, like 6 days out of the 7 of the week. And like, this is my vacation time, Eurofurence. So this is like my one, this is as an adult who is done with school, kind of, and is mostly unemployed, kind of, and my day-to-day and my week-to-week, month-to-month, year-to-year is basically the same. This is like the one thing that marks the passage of time for me from year to year, and so it's kind of like really important to me. I've been going to Eurofurence for 4 years now, and that's how I've marked my passage of all these years, right? So it's kind of really important that I try and figure out how good of a time I had. And again, I feel like I could have enjoyed myself more. Honestly, if I had just let myself go a little bit more, like just take it a little bit more in stride. Maybe, yeah, if I was a little bit more relaxed, maybe if I had gotten a hotel closer or something, I would have had a better time. But I had a good time. It's just, I'm not sure. Maybe this is my PCD. Maybe this is my post-con depression. It's just like me gaslighting myself into thinking I didn't actually have as good of a time as I did. That's the con that Dream and Nightmare and Azir go to. Yeah, I know. I went to his panel. I saw him. I didn't get to say hi, but I did see him. All right. I guess that's mostly it I wanted to do. You guys have any questions? Oh, actually. What hotel did you go to? I went to the Vorbach, which is like 10-15 minutes away. Like the closest hotel besides the Radisson is the Intercity. In the Intercity, I had an amazing time. I honestly kind of want to go back because I might actually, like, I paid $150 for my stay at the Vorbach, but I'm actually kind of down to pay like maybe up to $1,200 to go to the Intercity. So, and I might try to get a roommate because I've never gotten a roommate at one of these cons either. I don't know. We'll see. And now that I have a lot more acquaintances, I can actually ask around. But yes, Proto says that's why some US furs rate the 4,000 to 6,000 cons as being the sweet spot. It's harder to manage, not just for staff, but for attendees to organize themselves. 100%. Yeah, 100%. I'm down with that 1,000 quadrillion %. My roommate kind of met me over doing a late cancel. Oof. You could have roomed with me, but then you'd have had to pay like half or whatever, which I don't know if you're down. Bears, welcome in. But okay, you know what? I made this slideshow. So here, so okay, I made this slideshow. So so for the last bit of my stream, this is only 30 minutes. He went anyways. Oh my god, that's bad. So I sold my ticket for nothing. I'm so sorry. Nose, yes. This is probably gonna be the thumbnail for my. This is probably gonna be the thumbnail for my for the video. But yeah, let's just look at these pictures and see. So yeah, these were my pictures that I took originally in my hotel room, that I used to post my announcement on Blue Sky that I was gonna be coming, right? Well, I made very good use of your ticket, Jerez, as you can see. I would have bought it regardless, obviously, as I told you, but whatever. I would have paid like I would have paid more, a little more, but it was fine. But yes, that's something. Smiles. Right, this was the registration line. This trips me up because I didn't realize that I have my camera flipped, by the way. Like, all of these pictures are fucking mirrored. So it's actually tripping me up. This is Enzo. I didn't really get to have a picture with him in fursuit, but I kind of did. I talked to him later. And I said, oh, well, let's meet up and whatever. I never, and didn't meet up with him later. I did talk with him, but not in fursuit. This was the Mexican food that we have. It was delicious. I haven't had Mexican rice in like so long. This burrito's fucking huge. The day one line was massive. Not really. The line was like 20 minutes to 30 minutes for me. It was great. I also cut the line technically, but like I cut it like way far, right? Not like huge. And then, but the thing with this burrito is they put sauce on it. What kind of monster fucking put sauce on top of a burrito? I had to eat it with cutlery, like a fucking heretic. I felt so bad. My poor ancestors, mother, grandmother, great grandmother. Oh, they would chunkle me to death. Oh my gosh. These are furries that I met at Ibercon, and I met again at here. I don't remember their names. Their ancestors are Mexican. All of my great-grandmothers, great-grandparents are Mexican. Yes. My family immigrated from Mexico. That's why I was talking about with my friends. That's why I say I'm half Portuguese, half American, half Mexican. It's to trip people up because it's like ethnicity-wise, I'm technically half Mexican, half Portuguese, but nationality-wise, I have double nationality, Portuguese and American, right? One is Sub-Zero. Right. Yeah, these are people at Ibercon. Latino Neth, kinda, yeah. All deportable. They live in Oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't remember who this person was. It was a person who liked my art and gave me a sticker. Shrug. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I'm terrible with names. Yeah, I try to take a bunch of pictures like this. Your Nana is made to beat you up. Yeah, if you were alive, yes. Oh yeah, hold on. I'm gonna. Oh, I can unmute now. Hold on, let's unmute. Look at all these cute suits. Let's see if I can spot any. Again, my goal with taking these pictures is so you can get a better view of Eurofurence. Don't tell anyone. I did not get a media clearance badge. Fuck, I didn't take a picture. That's a Broda. Oh, no, it isn't. Never mind. We're good. I didn't get a media clearance badge, but I didn't stream or anything. I didn't think of doing it because I didn't think I was gonna decide to record stuff. That's a rat that I didn't meet or pass them or whatever. Look at all these fucking amazing suits, by the way. My suits, like on the scheme, it's like on the lower end of quality for suits. It's like a 4 or 5. Like, I think that I'm through. God damn it, Iron. That's such a. I understand that you understand the meme because you're saying that. Obviously, the Anthro was Canadian. If he were going anywhere, he would have been going to Megaplex. And I think it was Barabate who people were saying, "Oh my God, that's that Anthro." It's like, no, he was not here. Yes. Anyway. Man, there's so many people I wish I could have gotten suits, like first pictures with, but whatever. Okay, this is tripping me up so bad because this entire thing is mirrored. That is not Max's boyfriend. There's no way that's Max's boyfriend. Way in the distance. It is not. Okay. How am I seeing more bats than rats? Who went to EF? That was important. A bunch of people. Dream and Nightmare, Goldine, Animus, Blau. There's a bunch of big artists there. There's a bunch of big artists. Rainy Yatsu. The thing is, like, that's the thing. I actually am upset with Megaplex for like having it be the same time as Eurofurence. Because like that people that would have gone to one or the other goes to Megaplex, right? Because it's an American con. Dreamer Nightmare's staff? He's staff? I know he ran a panel and ran a couple, several, like 3 panels, but I didn't know he was staff. Oh, that was it. Right, another cute suit. This is called Midnight. This guy's called Midnight. Really appreciate that. Oh no, you see my finger? Whatever, it's fine. Rev, I got to meet Rev, right? Again, he's cool. This is Manny. Another, we had a really nice conversation. Oh, this was during the fursuit parade. I finally got myself like an actually pretty okay picture, right? Look at all these cool and cute suits. Can't wait until I get my full suit done. People complimented me on my outfit. They were like, "Oh, this is Yonag," as I was saying. Earlier, this is Ramsey, the host of the panel, the rodent panel. And I think I meet one more rat. No, I don't think so. Not at the. Yeah, look at this rat pile. Look at this little mischief. Actually, need to set. Oh yeah, no, Pure Xerix. I met at Pure Xerix. He's a Twitch streamer. Look, he has some. Jeez, he shared with me. Hell yeah. Pearly Flames. Actually, like, there's a couple of people that have invited me to go to like French free conventions, and I'm like, honestly, I've been farther away from actually doing that. Because at this point, I know like a few people that are going. I see. Do I see any cute suits? I mean, yeah, that's Furly Flames as always. Oh, look that. Right, look at this kangaroo suit. Oh my god, it's so cool. Dude, I wish there's so many people I wish I would have taken pictures with, but I didn't get the chance to, kind of situation. This is after the parade. This is fuck, what is their name? Something Merp. I mean, it's a circle, obviously it's Merp. I don't remember their name. The ramen we ate, fucking delicious. Tonkatsu ramen. You have an amazing first. Thank you. This was the fuck, what are they named? They were called fuck, what was their name? This was the winner of the dance competition this year. They were in fucking sane. They played like a Japanese or Korean like song. It wasn't K-pop. It was like a traditional kind of like drums kind of thing, and it was very like staccato. And they had like it was this very like slow, like controlled and precise song that like had these like bursts of like insane fucking movement. It looked like so good. It was so good. Like dude, the dance is so good. I got a picture with them. Wish I would have got a picture with German Scrat. Yeah, let's see another. This is Astro. You can actually see their badge here. Another Brodent that I met at the Brodent meet. I met another person at the meet, but yeah. Shoot, wait, I did have a picture. This is a Hamston. Yeah, this is their badge. I forgot to take the picture of their badge, but yeah. Yonag also at the Rodent meet. Yonag suit was made by. Shoot, who was this person's name? It's Ramsey's partner, I believe. Nope, it was not. I don't remember. Oh, I did. Yeah, this guy. It's a crocodile. This guy. I was behind at the Fursuit Parade too. Had an amazing time. It's me suiting up again. See like how this is mirrored. I actually really liked my getup, right? Also, I need to replace this stupid thing. This my stupid badge has. Oh, and this is the video. This is I get to show off the con space. So I was at the 3rd floor near the open stage area. So yeah, this is the 3rd floor. Yeah, and you see a bunch of like fursuits. This is what it's like going to a furry convention, right? Like there's just a bunch of fursuiters around, just people walking around, doing their thing, going from place to place. It's really nice to like just people watch. Oh, man, I actually didn't do that. Actually, you know what? Actually, that might have been what it was missing. I didn't like just sit and smell the roses. Smell the flowers. There's people in fursuit. A staff member panically going from one place to another, obviously, as always. Smell your sweat. People always say that furry conventions smell like the sweatiest gamer like locker rooms ever. Literally, not at all for Eurofurence at all. Like I only smell like fucking like cologne and shampoo, and everyone's really washed. Maybe it's an American thing, 100%. Like I don't know, man. I don't know. Like that people keep telling me, but like. Maybe a little bit at EverCon, I guess, a little. But like at Eurofurence, it's not that at all. So, shrug. Maybe I get a squeaker one of these days. It's so good. Megaplex had Karen elevator. Okay, but Spain is hot. That is true. Spain is hot. Okay, actually, so, that first shooter, fuck, he fuck. A little bit of a shame that I'm taking him without a set on, but he's one of the dancers of one of the previous years. So There is no elevators. There is elevators. There's elevators at Eurofurence, but the majority of the people, like, nobody goes to the elevators. Most people, like, just take the escalators, which just keeps things fucking flowing. There's no elevator con. Oh yeah, that was the skull meat. Oh, you could fucking see Papyrus there. Like, literally Papyrus. Literally someone dressed as Papyrus. Hold on, can I... Whatever. Okay, and this is the outside. This is literally the main, like, oh, a cute otter. Like the main, like, difference of Eurofurence versus every other convention. Oh, I took a picture with them later. Yeah, you'll have to see it later. Or you've been seeing it. It's the Fursuit Lounge, which is insanely amazing. And it's this area, this plaza in front of... Because, like, I'm walking through here, and you see how many fucking fursuits there are outside? Dude, the weather was so nice. It was always around, like, 20-ish degrees Celsius, which is 60, I want to say. 60 Fahrenheit. It was rainy a little bit, right? There was, like, wind. It was so nice. And so people, like... You could fursuit really nicely out, like, the whole convention. It was so good. It was so good. In August, right after all of these ridiculous heat waves. I was like praying to the furry gods above that we could that we would have a good weather, and we did. We had amazing weather. Oh no. See how many other rats you spot, other than me, during this place. The answer is like maybe one, if that. Fuck, that was Amp. Fuck, I wanted to take a picture with Amp. Thank you. See, look at this. See, look at this. Look at that. That shit right there. That shit right there is why I made a fursuit, and it's high key, like one of the main best parts of the convention. When like thank you. Somebody comes up to me and is like, "Yo, what up?" And I'm just like, "Oh my god." When you go to May 2026, I hope it's not hot. I actually might go to Film Festival, depending. I didn't get it. I didn't get a picture with Amp. I had this thing where I would like rub my snout. Oh my god, so many cute suits. Where I would rub my snout and hair and groom myself, which was kind of like an excuse to like straighten out the fur, my fur on my fursuit head. But also I did the rat thing of like rubbing my hands together and then, you know, and grooming myself. So it's like a kind of like acting thing. People have like having. People cuddling. Wait, is that Blau? No, it's not Blau. I didn't see Blau. Blau is a shark. I saw like one or two sharks, but they were not Blau. Like, obviously the best case scenario is for you to have like a full suit, so you can have cuddles and such and whatnot. But the second best outfit that you can have is actually like a good outfit with your fursuit head and paws, right? And so that's what I had. I had like a trench coat and plus a nice dress shirt and a tie. I was one of the only people, one of the very few people that had like an actual tie. I'm trying to see if that's a rat. It's not a rat. Is that a shark? Is that a shark? It was. See, another shark. I love poodle suits. Yeah. I mean, there's like there's poodling and partialing, which are basically the same thing, but like you don't say someone who's covered and you don't see any of their skin poodling. Poodling is specifically when you have like a t-shirt or like no shirt on and you have like skin showing, basically. Maybe you haven't gone to a furry convention yet and you're making a fursuit. You're getting a fursuit. You should get a fursuit. You should go to a furry con before commissioning your fursuit, I would say. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. So you really... Oh, that's Ramsey! I totally missed him. Fuck. This is one of the things, the thing you can hear is one of the things that I wish I hadn't missed. It was a taiko performance. They were doing like basically like taiko drums, and they had like a couple of practice performances where people could like join and practice. And then at the very end, they had like a huge performance where like a bunch of the people that had practiced during the previous days could go and like actually perform. Everything is mirrored and it's tripping me up so bad, but whatever. Maybe I should have drunk it more. I mean, I was also like on heart medication, which is why I didn't want to drink too much. My doctor said it was fine, but I was like, nah, I'm still gonna... They're gonna open for commissions. It's already getting into late 2076, so maybe they're like delayed. Also, what do you say about my like video taking skills? Like 60% of the screen, 70%, 60 to 80% of my screen is literally just me in my head. That's a fucking amazing Zekrom fursuit, by the way, guys. Look at that. Can you see it even? Look at that. Oh my god. You can see it really, like, tinily, but yeah. I wouldn't risk it. I didn't risk it. I drank a little bit, but I drank like only a little bit of cider here and there. Like a couple cans of cider throughout the entire con, right? So I started in the second floor. Or third floor, whatever, however you want to like count it. In Portuguese, we say that the floor zero, you count floor 0. So this is floor 0, and I was on the second floor. I think now I go back up to the first floor. So yeah, the space is huge, and you see how many like seating arrangements there are and stuff. Can you see them? Some of them here. No. No, not really, I guess. But yeah, in the area where there's the taiko drum performance thing, there was a bunch of seating. You need a roommate for cuddles and better photos, probably. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, people don't, that's not necessarily what you get a roommate for. Like, a roommate, I see getting a roommate as like a business thing, right? Like, you can be friends and you can cuddle if you want, but it's not expected, right? And obviously it's for splitting money. Yeah, this is the first floor of the con that I was at. Do I see any particular cool suits or whatever that I didn't take pictures with? I don't think so. And yeah, that was it. That was it for the majority of the video that I took. Here's this is a cute suit. I enjoyed taking a picture with it. Yeah, obviously the main reason why you would take a picture with that you would room with someone is splitting the money. But there's other benefits. But like you don't do that. Like most the people that you're gonna hang out with it are mostly. This guy was so tall. This guy was so tall. I'm like 5'6". No, I'm 5'5". I'm 167. I'm 167 centimeters. This guy was like probably 2 meters plus. Holy fuck, he was so tall. I hugged him and he was like, you're so short. And I was like, no, you're just really tall. By the way, like, you see me walking around. I'm not that fucking short. Okay. Oh, this is a Kugurumi suit. Both things can be true. I can be short and he can be tall. Sure. For EU standards, yeah, Scandinavian, Swedish, like German standards. Excuse me. This is Germany. Ah, oh, Karn. I think it was Karn is the name. Or Karq or something. Dude, this guy was having a bad time at the con. I felt really bad for him. But yeah, this was at the Italian place. This is the pizza I had. This is, I think, the last day, the last night. Like, after the dinner, I went to my hotel and I changed into, like, a more nightwear kind of clothes. Yeah, Ronnie, as I mentioned. Dude, his dance was fucking insane. I was so impressed by it. And yeah, I believe I already showed you the pictures. Maybe if you don't like the hospital walls. If you didn't lick the hospital walls. Yeah, that's why I got a heart condition. And Moof Woof. I actually have to message him next year. See if we can hang out. Oh, about licking the walls? Sure. Yeah. That was it. The roommate thing. I do like the idea of getting a roommate. And yeah, these were the last few pictures I took of the convention. Isn't it crazy? Look at this thing. Look at this thing. It's like, this is a giant fucking like thing that they put in the main like lobby. It went all the way up to the first floor, right? And yeah, I took a couple pictures as I was leaving. This is the front of the convention. And then, a little farther away. And I guess I will see you next year. Eurofurence.